guys, so today I'm filming the fourth and final video in my little mini series of if I cut my collection in half. So I'm going to have the other videos linked down below, and if you guys have not seen them already, I'll give you a little spiel about what they are. So the first video is where I'm pulling out my collection, going category by category and splitting them in half into keep and pass. I'm going off of my initial reactions. I'm trying not to think about it too hard. And in my second video, I am giving you more of my thoughts on why I chose to keep and declutter complexion and cheek products. And the third video is why I chose to keep or declutter eye and lip products. And then this fourth video is going to be kind of a two-in-one. This first part is going to be giving you guys my thoughts on this project as a whole, what I learned, what I'm going to take forward. And the second part of this video is actually going to be me showing you what my vanity and makeup collection would look like if I only had my keeps in there, which I thought would just be really fun. So we're just gonna get started. I don't want this to be too long, and I hope I'm not gonna repeat myself too much in the second and third video. I did go through and explain a little bit more about my processes just because it was tied into certain products. So there will be a little repeat, but not too much. But because I gave some of those details in those other videos, I'm thinking this portion of the video won't have to be too long. But basically, I explained this a little in the intro as well. I've seen people a lot recently actually do like, if I had a minimal makeup collection, what my collection would be like if I wasn't a YouTuber, and they're showing you, you know, one or two products in each category, which I think would be a fun video. I've really loved watching them. But for me, that's something I would just do for a video and then, you know, put it back in my collection with all the rest of my millions of products. But for me to actually do something that might cause a change in me or help me declutter some products, it's more realistic for me to cut my collection in half. It's much easier for me to think about cutting my collection from 10 to 5 foundations than it would be to go from 10 to 1 or 2 foundations. So this is something that would actually be more realistic for me. So that's why I chose to do it. And this project was so fun. I really enjoyed it. I actually filmed the whole like separating process like a couple weeks ago, because as soon as I thought about this video idea, I started thinking about my products, and then I was like, stop, Heather, that is not the point. You're supposed to just like initial reaction. So I just filmed it right away because I was like, that was actually like the first video I filmed with my new camera because I wanted everything to be in focus and look good. But I was like, listen, I've got to do it now before I mess up my video, because my brain can't help it but to like start thinking about all the products and what I would want to do. So I was kind of surprised that some categories were actually super easy for me to just like immediately split in half, and then other things took a lot longer. The things that definitely took longer would be eyeshadow palettes, of course. That was one of the harder categories. And surprisingly, the easiest categories for me were face palettes and liquid lipsticks, which, like I said, I was surprised by because I have so many things that I actually really enjoy, and it's like thinking about cutting them in half is insane, especially liquid lipsticks because I have so many. So if I actually get rid of half, that would be a lot. But what was really cool is that for those two categories in particular, when I thought about, okay, if I only had the keep half and literally got rid of the rest of it, I would be actually content with that, which is so surprising to me because when I look at my face palettes, I love having face palettes. I think they're fun, but I don't reach for them that often. And it actually made me happier to think about only keeping the keep pile. And same with liquid lipsticks, which is so surprising to me. And it made me feel like, okay, I can do this. And those are two categories, especially face palettes, that are just harder for me to let go of. But this project made me think like, okay, you can do it. So that was one thing about this project that was really surprising to me that I really enjoyed. And another thing was that I actually ended up adding way more products into my chopping block for this year, because there were some things that I was like, right after this video, chose to declutter, but then there were other things that I had originally thought about keeping, but I was like, no, I want to test these because I might not need them. So I did just post a chopping block update, which I will link in the cards, and I got rid of 50 products, which is insane. That is so much, and it shows you how many products I actually have in my collection, but it was because of a couple different reasons. So mostly it was because of this project. I was able to go through and test out some things and pass them on. And let me get into it. I have a whole bunch of different thoughts running through my head. So basically, after I filmed that initial separating, there were face primers and foundations and concealers in particular where like I have a lot of things that were unopened because I don't want to start using them until I'm ready to use it. I don't like to have a bunch of those open at once, but I realized there are a lot of products that I haven't used that maybe I don't want, and I should test them out right now. That way, if I choose to pass them on, I could pass them on while they still have a lot of good life to them. So that's what I decided to do. So I was able to get rid of several primers, foundations, and concealers because I just took the time to test them out a couple days in a row, and I felt really good about that. And I also was able to get rid of a lot of things in my backup drawer. And I do go through there pretty often, and I'll have spurts where I get rid of a bunch of stuff because I don't need the backup. But with face primers in particular, there are a couple primers where I might have 3 of them. And they're all I got for freebies, but I'll have one in my main primer section and the others go in my backup drawer. And then after I try the one in my main collection, then I will decide whether I want to keep or pass on the backup. So that is what I did. And I decided, instead of just waiting until God knows when to try the one in my main collection, I pulled those out, I tried them out, specifically the ones that I have backups of. And from there, I was able to decide if I wanted to get rid of all of them or keep one, pass on the backup. So I got rid of a lot of primers that way, which was super helpful. So those were like some of the main reasons I was able to let go of certain products. And if you guys have been following my channel for a while, I've done chopping block videos for the past couple years. So I've already gotten rid of things that I like hate. And now I'm at that point in my collection where there are a lot of things that I love, and then there are some things that I just like, and I have to decide, is it worth it for me to keep the things that I just like, considering I have so much? So that is why this project is really helpful for me, because there are a lot of things that I like, but I don't know that I need them or that I love them or that I'm gonna reach for them enough. So those are all the products that ended up in my chopping block. So I added a ton more blushes, highlighters, face palettes, and I added a lot more single shadows as well. That there are some of them that I feel pretty confident I can pass on, but there are some that I'm just not so sure. But because of this project, I added a lot more things to my chopping block, where I'm so happy about that, because otherwise they probably would have sat in my collection, maybe used them once in whatever season I tend to wear them in, and that would be it for the year. So I do feel really, really proud about that and happy that that's the decision I chose to make, and that I will be testing these products. And hopefully in my next chopping block update, you'll see a ton of products as well. And again, I've already gotten rid of a lot of things that I was considering decluttering from my backup drawer. So this will mostly be just like other products in my collection I'm trying to see whether I really need to keep or not. And the next point I wanted to make was one of like my most exciting, surprising takeaways from this project. And that's because I actually decluttered products from my collection that were in project pans. I never do that. Usually I might take something out of a project to put it back in my collection, and that's pretty rare, but I like never take something out of a project and declutter it from my collection completely. So I did declutter a couple things from my spring project pan. I got rid of my brow product and my concealer, and in my pan 20 and 2020, I got rid of like 5 products from there that I decided, like, never mind, it's just gonna take me too long. I would rather pass them on to someone else that would like them, and I have a lot more things in my collection that I can pan. So I will have both of those videos linked in the card so you can see what things I ended up decluttering. But I was so surprised by myself, and I was surprised how okay with it I was, because if you guys have heard me talk about things in my projects, I want to be successful. I mean, who doesn't? We all do. That's kind of like the point. But I like really want to finish everything or hit my goal on everything. So for me to pass something on that I could have used up is hard for me. But I didn't think about it as a failure or giving up. I just looked at it like that's a smart decision. So that was something that was really surprising for me, but I was really happy with that decision. So those are some of my biggest takeaways. So I'm not actually going to be cutting my collection in half with everything, but this project has helped me declutter several more things from my collection. It's made me think about what things I don't need to be purchasing. It's made me add a lot more things to my chopping block that I will probably end up decluttering, but I want to test them to be sure. I had just like learned a lot, and I had so much fun, and I'm hoping, like I said, in my next chopping block update, you will see even more things decluttered from my collection.
Can't get you out of my mind. It's like I feel it for the first time. Been thinking about you all night. I've been searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair with those eyes so bright, they look into my soul, and it sparks it was the first time. Do you remember? Can I take you there? Back to when we felt like this was forever. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time. Do you remember? Can I take you there? You're all I need. Can I take you there? Can I take you there? For the wrong guy, they keep telling me it's alright. How could I be so blind? I've been searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair with those eyes so bright, they look into my soul and it sparks my life. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time. Do you remember? Can I take you there? Back to when we felt like this was forever. Can I take you there? Like it was the first time. Do you remember? Can I take you there? You're all I need. Can I take you there? Can I take you there? I sent with no reply. It's like that. You're just gonna walk into my room. I hate how you assume I'll take the pleasure and the pain, the sorrows in your brain, 'cause I know you're on the run. I'll take the pleasure and the pain, your secrets to my grave, 'cause you are the only one.
Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help Look, if you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 I can help you out.
So I would love it if you guys did something like this on your channel or your Instagram, or if you have done something like this, let me know. I know this is not an original idea, of course. Like, I know this is not original, but this was so fun for me. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to see what my collection is going to look like. Now, again, I still buy products. I am still a makeup junkie. I'm still going to buy things. So my collection is going to continue to grow. Hopefully, you know, I'll declutter things, but I'm going to keep buying things. So my numbers aren't going to be cut in half. They're just not. But I hope I make smarter purchases. I hope I declutter things that I just don't need, and we'll see how it goes. But this was super fun for me, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as well. And thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.